Opposed to popular belief, no, I don't like him either. And not just because he's freakishly hard to draw, like, what the hell, what? Also, I'm filming this the day after Columbus Day, and oh boy, were there some interesting characters in my neighborhood. And this is a quick reminder to any Stolas defender or anyone who just disagrees with my opinions in general. You can share your opinions, and I know this isn't going to stop anyone because it's the internet. But friendly PSA, I would love to debate with you in the comments. I would love to hear your opinions. I'm open to opinions. I would love to hear your thoughts on the situation. I'm not going to go against you just because you have an opposing opinion than mine. Like, I want to know what you guys think. I want to know the other side. I want to see the other side of the story, but there's no need to be malicious about it towards me or towards other people. If you want to be malicious, direct it at least towards me and not to other people. If you comment something that has your opinion in it and is not very nice, I'm probably not going to answer. If you type up a respectable and a very nice and not mean comment, I'm going to respond. More likely than not. I'm pretty busy with school. But if you just outright attacking me for my opinion, I'm not going to answer. But I would love to have a genuine debate in the comments. And even if it's not like a debate, I'd like to hear your opinions either way. So just a reminder, don't go attacking me or other people. Thank you, love you. When it comes to Blitz, there is so much to unpack. So, I'm not going to. I am not going to. I am specifically talking about his position in the relationship between him and Stolas, and even more specifically, why he wasn't exactly the worst in it. Now, hear me out. I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to sit here and say that Blitz is a good partner or a good person. We've seen how he treated his other partners, specifically Verosika. So we know that he's not a good partner. We know that. But was he a good partner to Stolas? He didn't need to be. He didn't need to be. They weren't partners. Chronologically, we see Blitz sneak into Stolas' room, or at least try to, and he uses this to steal the grimoire. Now, they eventually kind of work out an arrangement where Stolas was like, yeah, you're gonna do this smoochy, dirty, and squirty with me, and I'm gonna give you the book, and I won't report you or the whatever. Long story short, Stolas, he's letting him have it, only because he wants to do the dirty and squirty with him. And yes, I'm going to be calling it that. He wants to do that with him. So in his mind, this is a fair transaction. He's giving him something, and he gets something in return. But the thing he's getting in return is something that Blitz it's not exactly that he doesn't want to do it, because I wouldn't say that he's being forced in the way that you would normally think, but you have to think about his situation in multiple different points of views. Blitz wants to make a name for himself. He is an imp, so that is not really possible. It is possible, of course, with Wally Wackford, whatever his name is, but this is how he's making his business. This is how he makes money. He has employees relying on him. If he just up and dropped the deal one day, this is before he was given the Asmodean Crystal, was it? Yeah, Asmodean Crystal. He has to do this. He might not see it as an absolute necessity, but when you boil it down, the only reason he's able to do his job is because he's performing acts of pleasure. And it's weird because it's not seen in the traditional way. They don't write it in the way that, like, he's being forced to do this. Because in a way, he might not think he is, and Stolas might not think he's forcing him. But when you boil it down to it, Blitz has to. He can't do his job without the book, and he can't have the book without pleasuring Stolas. And you could just say, if he really didn't want it, then he would have just stopped doing it and dropped the book and just got a new job. That's not really that easy. You can ask anyone. Of course, the politics and economical state of hell, I'm certain, is definitely opposing to the one on Earth. But it's not just that easy. It really is not that easy. He has just not himself, but he has his daughter and 2 employees that he's relying on. Even Millie's family was talking about, oh, you must not be making much money. I'm certain they're making enough money to live. But even they know that freelancing, it's a very, very risky thing. And for a lot of people, it turns out to be good. And for Blitz and Stolas is helping him for a cost that is something physical. And at the end of the day, no matter what Blitz does, he's not in a consensual relationship with him. I'm not gonna... It's hard, you know? Because they don't write it in a traditional way. I wouldn't say it's being taken advantage of, but it also kind of is. It's really, there's really a gray area, because it's just the way they write it, and I really hope I'm explaining this in a good enough way that you can understand what I'm saying when I say that this is not normal. If someone was to ask you for acts of pleasure in exchange for something you need, that's not normal, and it isn't normal either for Blitz. So Blitz wasn't the nicest, but did he really need to be? No. No, he was being... I feel weird saying forced, because it wasn't exactly forced, but it also kind of was. But he's the one stuck in this situation, and even if he might not exactly see it like that, that is, boiling it down, that is what it is. And he doesn't have a choice unless he wants to drop his whole business, to the point where he was like begging Stolas, like, no, don't take it away from me, I'll do better. And he didn't know he was getting Asmodean Crystal. And you could argue that maybe he was doing that because he also didn't want to lose Stolas. You could argue that, but that doesn't make it healthy. Even if he did want Stolas just because he wanted Stolas, at the very least, you have to understand that it is not at all healthy. And even if you still, despite all of this, want them to be together, please understand that they are not healthy. It is not a healthy relationship. Do I think they could recover from this? I don't know. I really don't know. I am not a relationship counselor. I am just some guy on the internet. I cannot say. It's just so disheartening when I see people just bashing Blitz, and I'm not saying he's perfect. He's not a good boyfriend, but he also isn't Stolas' boyfriend, so you can't hold that against him. And I sound very passionate in this video, and it's because I am.